and employment, well, that's within that track, and it focuses on issues dealing with work-life balance and job satisfaction and the like. I'm going to be chairing the session. My name is Joe Sirgy. And we have 5 presentations, but I have a feeling that we're missing one, but let's just go through this. The first presentation, essentially, I will do it, and there are 2 people involved in this presentation, but Dong-Jin Lee from Yonsei University is my co-author on this. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on issues, on the psychology of what you call work-life balance. The second presentation is reference-dependent preferences and job satisfaction in the UK. And the presenter is Tugba Zeydanli. Is that person here? And this is, I think, the person that we're missing. So we may not have that person present. But
sorry to interrupt. Probably he sent an email saying that he changed his session.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tugba Zeydanli. Remember, I saw his email. He said he moved to another session.
Okay.
Because his flight is somewhere around this afternoon.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. The third presentation is the mediating effects of volunteers' job satisfaction on organizational justice and workplace deviance by Chen Lim, Leong Weng Lee, and the presenter will be Chen Lim. There you go. I'm sorry. And then the fourth presentation is organizational well-being and counterproductive behavior. And the author and the presenter is Mohammed Meziane, and he is with it. The fifth presentation is Generation Y in the workplace, work-life balance, and intent to leave. And the authors and presented is, and he asked me to just pronounce his last name. Chamchan, and also you've got is there a co-author or a co-presenter by the name of Sirinan? How do you pronounce the last name? Oh, is that you in the back? I see. Okay. Well, pronounce it for us again.
Kittisuksathit.
Too many syllables. Okay. So, without further ado, I think we'll just start the session, and I'll go ahead and start that session with the presentation on behalf of myself and Professor Dong-Jin Lee from Yonsei University. Okay, what we're going to be doing is talking about the psychology associated with work-life balance. The literature on work-life balance is voluminous, meaning that there's so much research on work-life balance, which is great. And much of that literature can be categorized in terms of these 3 programs of research, or what you call, theories. One is work-family conflict, and so, again, the idea is that people feel stressed out, and there's a great deal of conflict between work life and family life, and all the drivers, all the factors that lead to that, and what are the consequences associated with work-life conflict in terms of life satisfaction and other types of quality of life issues. And then there's this other program of research that deals with work-family enrichment, which is sort of a positive spin on work-life balance in the sense that work-family conflict focuses on the stress and all the negative things that come about as a result of this conflict, but work-family enrichment focuses on the good things, like skills and values that If you learn a few skills at home, then you can apply it, at work, and vice versa. The same thing is that you feel good about your family life, well, that sort of spills over on work life, and maybe maybe the converse. Then they have, part of that program of research, breaks down into a conjoint between conflict and enrichment, and there's all kinds of other measures, metrics, models that deal with the two combined. So what we're trying to do is try and shed more light on the psychology behind this. Of course, those programs of research, they have their own theories, psychological theories mostly, and we're going to build on those. We're going to talk about the psychological principle associated with work-life balance. And to start out, one of the theories that seems to be very popular in quality of life studies is what we call bottom-up spillover theory of life satisfaction. And you can actually think of, let's see if I have, yeah. This is a good graph, a good figure that shows how does that work. So bottom-up spillover theory of life satisfaction says whatever you do at work or any given life domain, the affect, the feelings that are generated, in relation to that particular activity tends to spill over, this is where the theory of bottom-up spill over into things like work life and family life, social life, leisure life, health life, material life, and other life domains, right? So whatever you do at work, let's say maybe you're socializing with your colleagues, and you're having a good time. Well, having a good time at work by socializing at work, maybe in a lounge, right, adds to maybe satisfaction in social life, as you can see from at least the connection between work-life activities and satisfaction in social life. Same thing, maybe satisfaction in leisure life. Or something that you do at work, let's say maybe you something at work, there's a fitness program at work that is designed to make you feel good with your health life. So there is a spillover between what you're doing, let's say maybe taking a half an hour program of fitness at work, and that would spill over to satisfaction in health life. And satisfaction in those different life domains, what that does is sort of trickle up, right? So again, there's an infusion of positive feelings, well, positive and negative, could be negative, but again, what we're doing is focusing on the positive right now, to life satisfaction. So when people are asked how do they feel about their lives, again, life satisfaction, which is the very top part of that figure, then that is affected by how you feel about your sense of well-being in those different life domains: work life, family life, social life, leisure life, health life, and on, right? So one's feeling about one's life at large is very much affected by feelings and, embedded or invested in those different life domains. Now, life balance focuses on how people manipulate cognitively, emotionally, the affect they invested in those different life domains to optimize life satisfaction. Notice that I said optimize, not maximize. What we usually do, psychologically speaking, is to try to enhance our life satisfaction, but we don't necessarily try to maximize it. We try and attain a sort of an acceptable level, a homeostatic level of life satisfaction. So we're always trying to optimize life satisfaction. We dip below a certain level, oh, that's bad. So again, we engage in what we call corrective action so that we restore homeostatic balance in relation to life satisfaction. And in doing so, what we do is we manipulate, our feelings in those different life domains in such a way to optimize life satisfaction. And this is where we get into life balance, work-life balance. So, life balance theory of life satisfaction focuses on how people manipulate those different life domains in order to optimize life satisfaction, as you see in this figure. So what Dong-Jin Lee and I have done is we scanned through the literature and we're able to generate 8 different principles, 8 or 9 I think, that reflects the psychology of how people manipulate those different feelings in those different life domains that ultimately optimize life satisfaction. And the first principle is that we have to engage, see this hierarchy, work-related activities, excuse me, do it this way. Oh, that was this. Okay. So you see, again, this is based on this whole idea of bottom-up spillover. We have life satisfaction at the very top, and we've got work-related activities at the very bottom of the pyramid. And there's a sort of a mediating factor, psychological factors that goes from here to there. The first thing that we want to talk about is engagement in social roles and multiple life domains. And the idea is that in order to optimize life satisfaction, you have to engage in different types of social roles in different life domains. So it's not good enough to just be totally immersed in work life. You have to have a social life. You have to have a family life. You have to have a leisure life. You have to have a community life. And the reason behind it, the psychology behind it, is because there is what we call satisfaction limit. There's only so much satisfaction that you can get from any given life domain. So if you're totally absorbed, if you're a workaholic, if you're totally absorbed in work life without having a family life, a social life, and so forth, then there's only a certain amount of satisfaction that you'd be able to get out of that domain, and that may not be enough to help you optimize life satisfaction. And there's quite a bit of evidence to suggest that. So this is one psychological principle that says, yes, you need to be engaged in much more than one domain. If you're a workaholic, it's not likely at all that you will be able to achieve an optimal level of life satisfaction because of the satisfaction limits. The second principle is this business of engagement in roles in health, love, family, material, social, work, leisure, and culture. These are the kinds of roles that would satisfy the full spectrum of human development needs. So if you're looking at something like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, well, we've got basic needs and we've got growth needs. So, basic needs, we're talking about, physiological needs, and we're talking about safety needs and the like. And then you've got growth need. In order to feel satisfied with your life in total, you have to be engaged in the kinds of roles that would satisfy all these needs, growth as well as basic needs. And you can't do it by just focusing on work, on social roles in work life. So by definition, if you want to get there, if you want to optimize life satisfaction, you have to be engaged in social roles, in those types of roles, in order to satisfy basic needs as well as growth needs. You know, I'm definitely not going to be able to go through these 9 principles because, again, we've got these other presentations. So I'm going to just wrap it up with the 3rd principle and just give you an idea what the other principles are and cut it short that way. The 3rd principle is you can't just be engaged in the traditional roles. Being engaged in new roles and new activities tend to take care of this business of diminishing satisfaction, because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you become so habituated to the point that you don't get enough satisfaction from the same role. So what you do is, in order to optimize life satisfaction, you engage in new things. You're always seeking novelty, and if you're trying to change the sort of the landscape of your life, so to speak, you know, once in a while, that helps a great deal to optimize life satisfaction, right? So even in the context of work life, you have to try different things, and sometimes these different things come into either new social roles within work life as well as in other life domains. So the other principles are things like minimizing role conflict and how that reduces role strain and stress that feeds into life satisfaction, and using skills and experience and resources in one role for other roles, and this is what we call role enrichment, and there's quite a bit of research on that and how role enrichment feeds into life satisfaction. There's another principle which is integrating domains with high satisfaction. We talk about it in terms of positive spillover, and there's quite a bit of literature and research on that, and how positive spillover, again, feeds into life satisfaction. There's another one which is what we call segmentation. Segmentation is how you compartmentalize those different life domains, especially those domains that you feel very dissatisfied in. Let's say, for example, if you're not very happy with your work life, then you don't bring in your troubles to the family. So people, what they do is they have those coping strategies that will allow them to segment work life from family life, so that if things go sour in work life, you know, that would not sour their family life. That's what we call segmentation. It is how we cognitively compartmentalize those domains. And then we engage in what we call value compensation. How do we optimize domain satisfaction by changing the domain salience? So if we're failing in one domain, it's not very important. So what we do is we downplay the importance, the salience of that domain, in order to not feel negative feelings in that domain, and that would spill over into other domain, and that would allow us to maintain an optimal level of life satisfaction. And then we have things like behavior compensation, which is coping with domain dissatisfaction by engaging in roles in other domains, and that helps us, again, optimize life satisfaction. And it all comes together in this particular model. And again, for those who might be interested in this type of psychology, then I can share the slides with you, and I can also send you other material. But at that note, I'll leave it at that. And thank you, and we will turn it over now. Well, question and answer. Maybe because we have 4 presentations, let's do the Q&A at the very end. Okay? Great. So again, thank you, and the next presentation would be the next presentation. Again, we don't have the next presentation, so we're going to go to Chen Lim, and the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Is my voice loud enough without the mic?
No.
Please, no. Because if I
As long as you don't touch it.
does that become harassment? Okay. Good morning. Yes, yes, please. Hi, good morning. Okay, this is my PhD topic, part of my study. Okay, I'm bringing another new perspective. This one is organizational well-being as well as individual well-being. Okay, my presentation is kind of informal. This is how I actually do lecture in class. So actually, I hope that enjoying it rather than being so formal, and as well as I'm shivering here. These are the contents of my presentations. Okay, just a quick introductions. Okay, about workplace deviant research. Okay, since 1990s up to year 2010. Okay, there are a lot of journals that coming out. The focus is more on full-time employees. So I'm looking at the workplace deviant typology from Robinson's and Bennett's. Okay, there's one way that is towards the individual, that is part of it, that is political deviance, as well as personal aggressions, that is from minor to serious, as well as production deviance. It's disturbing. Okay, minor to serious, this one is organizational deviance. So this is my gaps, okay, just to highlight a few ones. Okay, one is actually the empirical study is more on the Western setting. This round I'm going to bring some Eastern findings to share in the Western country. Second part of it is actually, most study is actually focusing on private organization as well as full-time employee. But what is little known is actually in the Asian setting plus a volunteer perspective.
Speak directly on the mic. It feeds directly into the camera, but it operates independently from the other mic.
So the mic, is it working?
The mic
This one,
is working.
this one is a different thing. This one is.
Yes, it feeds directly into this mic.
I have to use the mic then. Thank you. Okay, moving on next. So I'm using the equity theory perspective by Adam Smith, 1965. Okay, most of the literature as well as they have cited. Okay, what is the importance of organizational fairness, and also the part is actually mostly cited is about distributive. That is money, and also procedural. That means process, but less is given on the interactions. That means communications. Second part is actually about also the job satisfaction, because based on equity theory, Adam Smith. Okay, they discuss about satisfactions and also outcome. That's the journal. So this is my purpose of study. I'm looking at the interactional perspective. Okay, they are divided into two: interactional justice and also informational justice. Interactional is actually about respect, treatments, honest sharing. Okay, and informational is actually a timely communications. Okay, information. And focusing on the volunteer, this volunteer is slightly different from past volunteer. Okay, it's in Malaysia. And also I'll look at the mediating effect of the satisfaction. Okay, in Malaysia we have this emergency hotline 999. Okay, some country is using 911, some country is using 112. Okay, in Korea. So it's a cross-sectional research study. Okay, 500 survey distributed to 5 states. Okay, 346 responses are received. Okay, this is the quick outlook of the demographic. Okay, male, majority are male. Okay, most of them are single. And O level, maybe they finish up to the O level. So average actually is average age is about 27. Most of them actually being a volunteer for the past 3 years. So this is my measurement models of the model fit because Prof, it's not fair to me, Prof. I have to carry 2. Okay, this is my measurement models. Okay, I have this, my interpersonal deviance, organizational deviance, 2 parts of the... Oh, move it. It's okay, never mind. Look at the fit indices. Okay, it's a nice fit there. Then this is my structural model. Okay, before examining the mediating effect, using bootstrapping, actually I look at the direct effect first. So interpersonal justice has no significant effects on both dimensions of